Can you imagine being in a large room with hundreds of people who feel like family, all from around the world, working together to bring change, bring consciousness, to elevate themselves and to support each other in this process as we support the whole world's evolution.
Together, we've done Costa Rica, our first Accelerated Ascension, starting off in one of the blue zones of the world. And then we've done Glastonbury in England, which is a very powerful place with Avalon close by. And our last one was in Slovenia. This next one is going to be in Turkey. So I invite you to join us online or in person.
One of the fastest ways to evolve your consciousness and to receive actual embodied spiritual awakening is to immerse in these experiences.
The energies are off the charts and incredibly strong. And there is an aspect of community that only happens when we all come together in a very sacred way, in a really powerful and beautiful way, in a powerful location for a powerful purpose.
We're going to be creating something truly magnificent together.
Your energy is needed. Okay?
Look forward to seeing you there.
Hello, hello. And a very warm welcome to our first Accelerated Ascension 4 free event. It's wonderful to have you here with us today. We are streaming to both Evolution One and Stargate social media channels. And we have a bunch of you up here on Zoom. So please feel free to introduce yourselves in the chats. Let us know where you're from. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Christel from Evolution One. It's a true pleasure to be here with all of you joining from around the world and with you, Jules and Prageet, as well.
Yeah, this is very exciting. I'm really looking forward to this whole process. But to be able to hear some of the responses from last year is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, so this is our passion, right? Like we love to share these energy experiences. And today we get to hear from some participants from Accelerated Ascension in Slovenia last year about their experiences. We're also going to be doing an energy meditation, having one of these experiences actually shared later on in the call. So warm welcome to all of the Stargate community, the Evolution One community. Really excited to be here.
Yes, and for those who aren't part of either community, we're welcoming you as well as newcomers if you're seeing this live or if you're seeing this recording. There's always a certain kind of magic that happens when the Evolution One community and the Stargate community come together. And there are a lot of overlaps in our community as well. So we're very excited for this co-creation and what will unfold in Turkey in October 2025 of this year. So yeah.
So you can see from that beautiful intro video that when hundreds of people get together in person and online, we all create together this super powerful energy field. So if you imagine every single human being who's receiving the energies is also amplifying the energies. And so we're making this like collective field together that's stronger than what we would be able to generate on our own. And together we get to ride that wave. We get to access these higher states. And so that's what we're here to explore and experience, really. And so this is our greatest joy also, Christel, is like when Stargate collides with somebody like a Seal Toksal, who's an embodied channel for the angelic realm, the Elohim council who oversee the Stargate work, also channel through a seal. And this can be like, I like to say that it's when we work with a seal, I'm so used to feeling the energy field. And when we work with him, it's like it goes on an elevator ride. It's like, so really magical.
Yeah, and just to note that a seal's presence is in the ethers today because he has gone back into the jungle and has no access to technology. So he is very much aware of what's happening and supporting this from the background, but you will not see him today.
Preparing in a different way.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So for our session today, though, we do have a panel of previous Accelerated Ascension participants who are going to share a bit about their journey and experiences of Accelerated Ascension. And we thought this would be a great idea because Jules and Prageet and Nasil and myself and our website, we can talk about the experience of Accelerated Ascension and why we feel so passionate about it, and the feeling of why we should share this with more and more of you. But for you to hear from your peers is very compelling. And so we wanted to bring some of them to the forefront today. And after that, we're going to move into, as Jules talked about, the channeled meditation together. It was the first meditation that opened Accelerated Ascension 3, and we're going to share that together in this field live. So if you please join me in welcoming our panelists, Maria Emma, Sean Weitz, Jerome Olthoff, who have all experienced at least one accelerated ascension in person, and they're here to graciously share their accelerated ascension experience from their perspective. But there are a lot of you also that have experienced the Accelerated Ascension workshops who are watching this live stream. So feel free to drop your experiences into the chats if you have something that you want to share during the session. We'd love to hear from all of you. So welcome, Maria, Ron, and Jerome. Hello. All right. So in all fairness, we did sit down a couple of days ago and have a little pre-session to talk about some of the things that we wanted to bring to light. And there were so many interesting and serendipitous things that that came about. So I'm going to ask these questions, but also I'm going to also share a little bit about the experience that we had. So Ron, you shared a really fun story about the inspiration for coming to Accelerated Ascension in person in Slovenia, and maybe what was so special about it there. So do you want to go first and talk about that experience?
Certainly, I'd be happy to. Thank you for inviting me. It was nothing short of miraculous on how I even ended up in Slovenia. It was from a chance meeting at an event with Cryon in Sedona back in 23, where I had also met Prageet and Jules. And from a chance meeting there, I ended up becoming friends with people, just amazing people that invited me then to come to Europe, to Slovenia. How does that happen? From a community like this, from people like this, from saying yes to an event. I almost didn't go to Sedona. Had I not, I would not be here to speak now. So it's just incredible. It's miracle after miracle, and little ones that just lead up to where I sit right now.
Yeah, and Ron talks about getting in the car in Switzerland with his new friends that invited him to Slovenia and traveling down from Switzerland to Slovenia together. So it seems like you had a really good time leading up to that experience.
It just kept getting better, and then coming to Slovenia and to the event. I mean, we went from Switzerland through Italy, through Germany. I was in 5 different countries on that trip. It was the first time I'd ever been to Europe. I never expected to get there in this lifetime. So I mean that, and all that building up, the energy that built up as we as you did the buildups from the other countries before this, the energy just kept getting stronger. And then being at the event was just incredible how much amplified it is. It was kept getting stronger as we were building, but actually being there in person was an overwhelming feeling of so much love.
Mm.
Thank you, Ron. And Jerome, what about you? You said the other day that being in person is the ultimate treat for yourself. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, but first I would like to address that what Ron is sharing, like how the heck did you get to such a place in the last time? Because for me that was I had some complicated moments, and in August I remember that, and I was heading for way different directions, and then suddenly it was like, oh, I'm being called to come to Slovenia. Oh, that's a surprise. So that really comes into the divine last moment, which is always very stretchy until you're out of your comfort zone. So yeah, I was very happy in the end to be there. It was very rushed up to get there. But yeah, coming into the room, feeling these energies already welcoming you. It's like the whole universe is treating you like an honored guest. And that's I've been searching for the words. This is probably what comes to mind best, is that you're literally feeling honored to be there, and that you're being welcomed with such grace, and you can feel it on everything. It's like you're being polished as soon as you get in. and you feel like your presence matters up there, and there's a reason that you had to come there, and there's a reason why you're not joining online, but you be there in person. So definitely that brings up an ultimate experience indeed, where at one side, of course, energies work with you. I've experienced it earlier also in Mexico and also in cause that we do all these meditations, but as soon as you go out of the room and you start engaging with each other, this is where the triggers and the buttons are being pressed sometimes. So you have to understand that it's still a game. Okay, so your energy, your vibes, your field changes for everyone. So it has to integrate again after the sessions and then find its way during the lunches and during the dinners. But overall, it's being with good people, with loving energies. It's with your soul vibe, with some sun and beaches. It's an ultimate cocktail and an ultimate treat. Like, how can it get any better than that? So yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you for that. And when Maria got on the call the other day, she looked at Ron and she said, "Oh, I had breakfast with you." So Maria, you came there and you make lots of friends all the time. What's so special about being there in person?
Well, everything, but of course, between moments, the moments when I see Ron on the stage and he's doing an experience share, and it resonated with me of my first time joining this community, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a part of me. And I was like, right after the session, running over to Ron, hey Ron, you want to go grab breakfast and like experience share together and build a stronger bond? And those moments are impactful beyond words, like building more friends, more community, more support. That's what changed my life significantly. I mean, I've known Christel since 2013, and she's a sister of mine. So, and then having more and more family and being in around 400 people, if not more, in a room, and then beyond, and all the celestial beings, and it's like explosive love of creation. And my heart just explodes. That's what I love about the most about everything is the community and the relationships in the in-between. And of course, just bathing in the love of creation and source with each other it's like a swimming pool of love. Yay.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you. And Prageet and Jules, I'm wondering if there was something particularly special about being there in Slovenia for you. I mean, you guys travel all over the world. So was there something about Slovenia specifically that struck you?
Every time that we've done one of these big, actually not, it doesn't even have to be a big one, because even the super conscious heart that we did during the pandemic on Maui, where it was literally just Evolution One team and us in an Airbnb together. We meant to have an in-person thing, but it was all just crazy times. Like I hit these, it happens every now and then, but every time we work with a seal, it happens. And I hit these moments when it's like some kind of radical flow state where everything's different. And so the one that I remember from the super conscious heart was really cool because it felt like my thoughts were operating from like a higher sphere, like around like here, instead of my normal brain thoughts. And I was like, huh, like that's a really good feeling. I heard in my head, like, this is how heaven on earth will happen. Because like the children will come in and they won't have to forget who they are because they have this like access to like the higher noetic thought spheres. And then I was doing like a ESP, like extrasensory perception game on my phone, and it was like ding, 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 ding. I was getting everyone right. And I was like, okay, so I'm not making it up. Like it's actually being super connected. So it's so hard to describe those states, but to me, they're the magic dust of the journey that we're on, right? Because we don't ask to be born, we're just here. And when we get to enter into these states where we're in contact with who we truly are, it's like precious. And when we get to do it with a whole group of people and you look around the room and everyone suddenly looks like they're Buddhas in the audience, like I remember that moment from Slovenia. I was looking at the audience and they're all in kind of like stadium seating there. And suddenly it was like everyone was so present, but present in that lucid way where it's effortless and you can just feel it in the room.
Yeah, it's like we all melted.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that's really one of the high spots is just feeling literally the evolution that happens over those 4 days. And, you know, a before and an after photo would be really cool just to see the physical changes that happen to people, the relaxation, the understanding of, wow, I am so much more than I thought I was. And this year, it's going to be even more impactful. There's so much going on. I think everybody's aware of the rapid changes that are happening out there in the world, but not so obvious. There are rapid changes that are happening energetically, and that's going to be shared here in Turkey. And for me, I've just been experiencing a whole new guide coming through by the name of Izon. And his energy is so strong, and his influence and support for people is literally out of this world. He's a cosmic priest who channels energies from other universes. And it's incredible. And so this is the first time that this energy is going to be introduced to the ascension process. So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, and we'll see what a SEAL's upgrades bring to the table as well. So in a lot of ways, it's going to be very next level and very different from what we've experienced before. So we'll be able to experience
Change is
that
going to be
together.
happening a lot faster. That's the amazing thing. Things are happening faster. Change is becoming easier, especially when we're gathered together like that, because we amplify each other's awakening process.
Amazing. Well, thinking back to Slovenia, really it was only a few months ago. Did you experience any unexpected shifts or insights or healings during or after that event? Maybe, Jerome, you talked about having experiences during, and then you talked about this beautiful unfolding after. You want to share?
Yes. Yeah, this is a little bit interesting question. What it brings down to the knowledge that I'm working with, or the energies that I'm working with, which is related to the Mayan astrology, and that helps me navigate the now moment. And this comes into all kinds of waves, short-term waves, long-term waves, but it's constantly waves because energy is constantly doing this. So I've been learning and understanding these patterns in these waves, and I've realized that at some point in my timeline, in my flow, so to speak, there comes a moment where there is a beginning of a new creation cycle. So that happens when the new waves actually starts. And this was actually when the last 2 or 3 previous moments of Accelerated Ascension started. But what I realized actually this year is that the moment when that a certain week or a certain period of time is the template for what is to come next. So I had during these sessions a few meditations that were so infinite, so extremely profound in my experiencing, so blissful, so unbelievable, radiant, loving. It didn't even fit into my body mode. The power that came out of my heart and my expansion was so big, and I knew, related to my knowledge, that is just a seed that is being planted for hopefully what is to come for me and what is to experience for me in another timeline this year. And this is where I'm currently almost heading for. So yeah, it's a kind of template. So what this year for me will bring. I hope that makes a little bit sense of a kind of experience. So I'm in a certain stage of my own flow at this moment, and if you ask me like what has Accelerated Ascension then brought for me, was preparation. And it's been building up, energy building up. So I'd like to use the metaphor of a wave. So it's all, of course, but more easier to understand is a roller coaster from a theme park. We all want to do the ride. We're going to have fun and we're going to dive in. And over a long-term period, in this case for a year, the energy will build up. And this is the metaphor of that wagon. You're tick, 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 climbing up that roller coaster. And this is months. This is from September. I started below. This is where the wagon for me started. And this is where I had the first experiences. And then it will come onto the top. And there is where it comes to a little pause or a still point of the energy. But slowly, the energy will, or that wagon, or, you know, that will slowly fall over. And then that is exactly the moment of acceleration. That is where all has been preparation will come to reality. And this is the moment for acceleration. So the first part where we build up the energy and climbing, which is going upwards, but your experience is actually is going downwards because it's heavy, it's dense, it's sluggy, it's the in terms of the wisdom of Michel Castro, it's like the path of descent is when the wagon goes up, and when we go down, this is the moment of acceleration, and there's of course the moment of ascent. So that is a very aspect, but that if that brings us to much more perspectives over this whole new event, what you're planning to. But maybe first some other people would like to share some other experiences, but I would like to share some perspectives on that if you wish.
Beautiful. I know Julieanne and Prageet, you were excited to hear about Jeroen's thoughts on this. Do you have any thoughts about what he just shared?
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, it's the process of change that I see in personal sessions too. It's really interesting because like the struggle is always the buildup. And it does feel a bit like climbing a mountain or like that build up to the roller coaster you're talking about. But then there's these moments when it's like, that was actually the generation of the momentum needed for this total change to be catalyzed. And that part feels effortless. I think when that's happening, there's like this like deep now and this richness. And even if you're crying your eyes out, it's like just feels like life, like truth and like life and like the deeper parts of ourselves being like in contact. So yeah, that's a beautiful metaphor. Thank you, Jeroen.
Yeah, so it's a little in that. So we don't always experience the ups. You need to invest in the down, so to speak, to experience the ups. So you go deeper into the darkness, into the complexity of your own self, in order to experience the highs and the more highs. So every time you go through this wave, you experience higher experiences. And these are built with the templates that have been given through these ascension events. For the moment of acceleration. But there is time in between. So how it takes time and a lot of patience to wait for all these things that have been integrated and implemented to come to fruition and to experience those new levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something Alcazar says is, beloved ones, we take all of you with us. And he means all of us, but he also means all of us on the ascension path, because otherwise we become top heavy and we spin out. We have to be like a balanced ascension process, and that's the oneness.
And community really helps.
Yeah.
And it's great hearing from you three, and maybe if there's people at home that had experiences with us in the past, share your experiences in the chat, because we can get to read them afterwards. Maybe we pick out one or two during this process.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that really dovetails into, Maria, you talked about something the other day that really struck me, and you said that one of the meditations in Slovenia, you were held like you've never been held before, and density was broken down, which allowed this incredible flow to occur. Do you want to share more about that experience and maybe why it was timely or impactful in that moment for you?
Absolutely. For me, it felt like here I am completely held by each other, by myself, by all the love of creation all at once in that liquid love. And I'll still never forget because it just broke down all that density, like you said. And I was able to flow like a faucet again. And just excitement to be alive again. I remember standing up. I was actually sitting where Prageet and Jules and Seal were sitting on the other, like with a pillow, and I looked up. There's 400 participants. And I'm just like, yay! Hi, everybody! Energetically, you're all here with me. And I just wanted to run around and like kiss everybody and hug everyone. And like Christel had to come over and be like, yes, yes, we know. Just like sit down and like energetically kiss and hug everyone. And I totally did with all my heart because I felt excitement to be alive again, excitement to play with each other, myself, everyone again. And it just brought me enormous amount of joy to be in that room. Like just broke down all of that story, that density, and just coming back to source, to being who I truly am, with all the love of creation, with everyone. And that room does that for you. And that's why I'm so excited to go back to Turkey, because I did Turkey Sacred Sites with Evolution One, Ascension One back in the day. And I can't wait to go back there with all of you again and do it in a whole new way. I mean, each time, as the rest of the group has said, layer by layer, it gets even more built and more beautiful and more excited to be here. And then hearing Ron's story, like I said before, knowing that there's me out there going through similar things, it just brings it full circle. I can't wait. Are we there already? Are we there? Let's go. Let's get over to Turkey right now.
That's right. Let's just forget all this stuff.
Are we
Let's
there
go now.
Just beam over there.
you
Love
go.
you all. Can't wait to see you all.
Thanks, Maria.
I may run around next time, Christel. Start hugging everyone this time.
I get my lasso out.
For those
And
people that haven't been in a situation like that, the energy in the room that Maria's talking about is so tangible. It's like being in a delightful pressure cooker of love and presence. It's almost difficult to really put into words what it feels like. But there's an energy where you feel so supported and so part of something bigger and so empowered in your own self. And that's the incredible beauty of coming together in this way. So thank you, Maria, for mentioning that.
yeah, and I know that we all come to these gatherings, whether they're Accelerated Ascension or trips to Egypt or cause, or wherever it is that we are. And there is something about the alchemy of the group assembled that is unique in its energetic signature, and each person is contributing something. So when we get into that collective soup, there's an experience for you as well as the collective that comes through. So when Maria was talking about it, that's what really touched me. It's like, what did she need at that moment in time that was provided as this gift, not only from the guides, but from the collective group that was there. And then Ron, you went to the microphone in Slovenia. Do you want to share a little bit more about that experience?
Yes, actually, it was an incredibly, it changed everything within me. You're talking about the love of the room and everything like that. I went up and spoke that my heart goes out to everybody, but I don't allow it back in. I had, we're talking, Jerome's talking about that wave. I could give out, but I had been building a brick wall around my heart from a little age for protection, but I built myself on the other side of the wall, away from my heart. So I was not allowing that love to come in. I would let it out, but not in. And explaining that, it just the wall started to fall apart. It started to melt. It started to dissolve. And Brigitte even said, you said, when you love yourself more, then loving others will be easier. And it's so incredible, the experiences that have then just been building afterwards. It just, you know, I see miracles every day and more and more, but it just, you know, I'm loving the ride now.
I just want to say, Ron, that's you. Like that's all you took that torch. It might have gotten lit, but you ran with it, and that's super inspiring. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful experience to witness, Prageet, when Ron got up and there was a bit of a loss for words, and there was that heart cracking open in Ron, and just the way that you guided him through that was and sat in presence with him was so beautiful. It was an aspect of you that I know, but I got to see live and in real time, and it was, for me, it was very touching.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, Ron, for carrying on with it. That's really beautiful. That's really what it's all about, is being stimulated by these gatherings and recognizing, hey, this doesn't have to stop when we leave this room. It carries on in life. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see, I'm just looking at the chats. Suna was saying, I still remember dancing in the discotheque in Slovenia. I had not danced for a half century before that.
Wow.
That's quite a long time. Suna, let it not be a half century more.
And Christel's DJ, by the way, DJ that whole night for us in Slovenia.
Yes, I was the Andrea and I were the cosmic DJs. Linda said, one of the meditations of the last gathering, Asil channeled a method of breathing, expanding, and contracting. Some of us have practiced this method following that session and found that it has been very powerful in helping us expand even more. Wonderful. Robin, I knew you'd weigh in, Robin. I'm so glad. Robin, I was in Glastonbury. Aside from the accelerated energy that is generated from being in a room with all of these high souls, haha, Prageet just started saying the same thing. One of my favorite things is getting to see all of my online friends from around the world. After the personal meetings, we are truly friends forever. There is nothing better than getting real physical hugs from those you have virtually hugged for sometimes years. And I got my nickname from Christel because she had these this eye patch on, and so every time Jules and Prageet and Asil would start, she'd get all serious and put the eye patch on, and I was like, you are cosmic trouble. That is you. Oh, it was a mind mask, not an eye mask. Okay. All right, so let's see, one last question before we get into some fun afterglow rapid fire questions. And that's about what are you looking forward to when you think about the timeline, October of this year? What are your thoughts about Accelerated Ascension 4? Jerome?
Yeah, I would like to share that. That's the question I was waiting for. It's actually what's come to mind today in preparation on this meeting. This is a very important moment in time for this year, and we have had some very difficult moments over the years. But through the last days, when we received a new initiation by Asil's work, I've been given a new layer or level within the mind astrology indeed to work with, and that has very much to do with the collective consciousness. And I was already aware of that at some level, but there's so many layers that I have to work through, the same as with the essence energies, many layers. But I'd come to realization the importance of actually this event, and this is not a marketing talk that I want to give to. It's more like a higher perspective and a sense of urgency that I would like to give with, because this year holds is a container, which also includes a wave, so to speak, with that roller coaster metaphor. And it started on January 1st, and it will end up and until December 31st. And that is literally, so you can divide that whole wave into 12 months, so to speak. And there are many moments that hold specific properties of that container, which holds the entire wave. But eventually we move through that current moment, and as a collective, this represents where we are standing right now. It's finally so clear to and thankful to see that what I'm working with for so long, that I can now apply this to a collective consciousness, because there's this huge desire, so to speak, within the collective consciousness that is about to choose for self, I would say, and stay loyal to yourself, and very much about what you give attention to. Attention, very important word, and how much you are being influenced. So the energy will actually activate in order to influence. Activate in order to influence, which means literally, like, are you the influencer or are you influenced by? And if we look at the turmoil outside in this world, which is more than enough, you have a choice to what you pay attention to. That is about your free will. So what is wisdom here? And how can we bind and bond that wisdom? Right? So that is the metaphor, because we are currently, as a collective, in that ride, which is building up. So that roller coaster, we are in that roller coaster together, but it will split up perhaps in two different rides because of the choice you can make. Right? So eventually it will come to that peak point where it will reflect back how much of a focus do you have and how much you're guided by fear, because fear will probably show up a lot in the upcoming months somewhere nearby. But then eventually it will drop down, right? So this wagon, this ride will drop down, tick, 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 tick. And this is, of course, the moment of acceleration that will happen into the collective consciousness, in the field of the collective. And somewhere there in that downfall where we're speeding up, this is where the event will take place. So that's interesting. So the more people on board with the right focus into that ride will fuel and energize that moment of which Alcazar, in the previous short briefing about this event, said that rocket that is about to launch, which takes a rocket, a lot of engine, a lot of fuel, a lot of power to rise up. But the more we put in together as a group, as a community, the focus to step into that ride and to go to build up that momentum and speed up that acceleration process, we build up collectively a moment to let that rocket, that ascension process, literally rise. So we decide as a collective how much and how fast and how comfortably we want that rocket to rise. But there are some pitfalls, because another metaphor I would like to use is that is also the metaphor of the casino, right? You have this game of the roulette, which is spinning with the spinning ball, and you can place your bet. This is what we are right now. So you are being given the option. The croupier is spinning that ball into that in that wooden basket, and it's spinning, and this is the moment where you place your bet, black, red, whatever. And I would say, would you place your bet, yourself, all about you, on everything in the outside world, where you're easily being distracted by wars, by presidents, by turmoil in the government, whatever is out there? It matters. You can be distracted anytime, any moment for it. It's your choice where you start engaging with. Or do you choose your bet and say, I'm having my focus onto this event because that event has a very significant value. And now I understand it. And now I also see the value of these events, that the other events that take place. Because you don't want to be on a ship that's sinking and there's a storm coming, and you don't want to be on a sinking ship when the storm is coming. And there's a storm coming, I bet you. So when you don't have focus and you're not aligned and you're not in your own flow, you will be on the wrong side of the choice that you have made. And at the end, it will show, before the end of the year, whether you are in together with us in a ship that is rising, the rocket that we have built and fueled together, or you are the victim and you are offside. So I would invite everybody really to pay attention and to consider what you are paying attention to. How strong is your focus? Do you understand what is happening right now? To me, it feels like we are giving a second chance after COVID. Many people were distracted, and this is an intelligence test, a test of free will, how much you choose and let yourself be influenced. Hear those words, be influenced by external factors. Or do you say, this is where I put my focus on. This is where I direct my energy in. I'm going to be in that right to collectively, together with all of us in the Stargate community, together with Asil and whatever it is. And I'm going to have my focus into September on that event and everything that is needed in between the other programs, whatever is needed for you, but have your focus there. So we collectively have something to work towards and put our energy towards that acceleration process so that rocket can blow up into the sky and we can say goodbye to the old.
Well, you put a lot of energy in there.
Definitely. This is my passion.
So there's one other aspect that's going to be there, and he came in COS, where we created a jump in the timeline, a timeline shift, and that's going to be happening again when we gather in Turkey, because we're going to be creating such an energetic field that it's possible to shift the timeline of anyone who's going to be there present with us or watching online, bringing their energy online. And when we did that before, it creates a ripple out into the world. So it's not just for the people there. And many people after that timeline shift recognize, wow, my life has changed. It's certainly changed a lot for Jules and I. And so that's something else that will be happening after the few days where we've been building the energy. We'll be creating a literal timeline shift. So expect life to change after this in a big way, in a beautiful, accelerated, higher experience. Yeah. Cool.
Jules, you want to share?
It's a bit like throwing the world into superposition, right? Like a particle when it's energized in a certain way. Like I was just learning, even when we do an MRI scanner, the magnet spins and it actually energizes our organs on an atomic level into this like highly charged state. And then when they go back in, they release this energy. And that's why we get to see the image in the MRI. So timeline jump with these workshops, with COS, with 1,000 people, Accelerated Ascension 4 in Turkey, with hundreds of people again coming together in person. It's like we're infusing so much energy into the collective that we get to make these choice points. And it's exciting because the world needs it right now. And it really feels like the next like maybe 10 years are going to determine humanity's state of freedom for the next 100. So it's like, now you're right, Jerome. It's like, this is the time to really bring our focus and our power.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very interesting time, and I hope people understand the urgency a little bit behind this, that it's, we don't get often a second chance, but this feels like a very important one to really pay, to not let yourself be distracted so easily. But if you really tap into that focus, I've been investing so much in my own world. News doesn't even come to me. I don't follow anything. I don't know, literally do not know anything what's happening around the world. If I'm in the supermarket and I see the newspapers laying there, and sometimes I just have a short look at the headlines and I'm like, oof, I don't want to, I can feel it. I don't want to even touch that energy.
Yeah.
So whatever news and outside, it's a sticky glue. It's a field that you don't get out of anymore. It sucks you in. And as soon as you're completely out of it and disconnected and no longer attached to that outside world, you know you have a choice really to reconnect or not. And you know, no, that's not serving me anymore. That's definitely not serving anymore. So ultimately, it is free choice. It's up to everybody on its own will. But I hope we can aspire as a community to make the right decision, and so we can really have that rocket, give a proper start.
Yeah, I see lots of nods and yes, let's do it.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you, Jerome, for that.
welcome.
So we are going to go into some quick rapid fire questions that I'm going to ask all of you, and let's go alphabetical. Although the Stargate experience.
You know,
We can do okay. Ready? Are you changing? Okay, Jules, right. All right, so we're gonna go alphabetically, which means that Jaren goes first in these. So what's the first word, literally the first word that pops into your head when I say accelerated ascension?
Preparation.
Jules, you're next.
let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Maria?
Maria, you're muted.
Community.
Prageet?
Deep peace.
Ron?
Miraculous.
Okay.
Christel?
Yes?
What's yours?
Oh, ready.
Ready.
But wait, I'm going to save that for a second. All right.
Mm.
Okay. If the experience of accelerated ascension had a flavor, what would it be?
You need to direct who's going to answer the
Well,
order.
we're doing the same round. We're doing the same round because it's alphabetical. I guess
Jerome, what's your flavor?
Spicy.
spicy.
Mine is strawberry pop rocks. They're this candy, for those of you who don't know, that you put on your tongue, and it like has some kind of magic built into it. So it goes like
Love it. Maria?
Let's say lightning bolt limoncello.
Ooh,
yeah.
limoncello. Good one. Prageet?
Rose.
Rose. Ron?
Coffee. Deep, rich, energetic, comforting. Yes.
And I'm going to say rich Dutch chocolate. All right. What song would be on your personal Accelerated Ascension soundtrack?
I'm a techno lover. Something that pumps me up and that gives me a high boost of energy. And really, yeah. But I'm also very much a lover of Coldplay, and that feels me very much alive. So I'm very hopeful what this all brings. And yeah, maybe the taste would be something very refreshing and very juicy, but something I've never experienced before. Perhaps a bit spicy in it and some Coldplay. Yeah, I don't know. It's very good vibes.
Jerome, we have a running manifestation kind of joke in the Stargate team that we're gonna work with Coldplay at some point, because Soleil is obsessed with them, and I had a dream that Chris Martin invited us on stage.
Oh, really?
So
I
it's
love
cool.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. My Ascension song would be the one that goes, Hallelujah, let that bass line move ya. Good to be alive right about now. That's the one. It was in my head earlier too. So
Awesome. Prageet?
Well, I think it would be, it's raining men, but we change it to it's raining guides.
Hallelujah.
You missed
Maria?
it again.
I kind of had two going on in my head, but first one was I'm walking on sunshine. Hey. I'm like jumping around in my head right now.
Nice.
And the other one was all you need is love. Of course, we love our Beatles. Little Beatle moment.
That's right. Ron?
Definitely loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it.
For me, it's starships. Starships were meant to fly. Stand up and touch the sky. Higher than a... Okay.
The song that comes to mind now is the newest from is Pray,
Right.
and so we pray.
Someone just wrote that in
I love
Zoom
that
chat.
song.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so it's
great.
Alfredo's.
What a feeling. All right. And then let's do one last one. And that is, if the Ascension energy were a dance move, what would it be? And demonstrations are encouraged.
I skipped that one.
Obvious question.
All my dance moves
Well,
are
I have to be rocking.
right. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in order because, you know, it's the dancing. Yeah. Like this. Ron, you got one?
No.
I see people on Zoom. They've got them too. You can feel free to show us your dance moves. Yeah, Linda, I see you over there cutting a rug up. Sherry. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, Sherry's a mover.
That's right. And Day. La 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 la.
I have to say, Christel, you do have like the best playlists for the dance parties.
Thank you. I pride myself on curation.
Yeah.
Feel the energy, allow it all to ground in. So, well, thank you. Thank you so much to our panelists. Thank you guys for sharing your experiences, and hopefully either people remembered their experiences through you or ignited some curiosity in themselves for coming to an Accelerated Ascension event. So thank you for sharing your light and how this has touched you. You are a representative of our collective, so did a great job. So Jules and Prageet, we're going to move into the meditation from our time together in Accelerated Ascension, Slovenia, to give everybody a taste of what happened there and maybe what they can potentially expect. Is there anything that you want to share before we go into that?
Go ahead, Jules.
Let's just connect energetically for a minute. So everybody who's watching this live stream, if you just take a moment to drop everything and intend to connect. So just focus in the present moment and imagine hundreds of meditators around the world and just reach out energetically and intend to connect. We can create one unified field of energy, information, light, consciousness. So just feel. And for anyone new to Stargate, we're working with high vibrational energy fields, and you don't have to have a physical Stargate with you to feel these energies. We work with an etheric Stargate, and that is the energetic consciousness that's being focused and lensed by the sacred geometry. So in these meditations, what's going to happen is if you devote your full attention to it. So stop doing the dishes or whatever else you're doing. Lay down if you want to, sit up if that's better for you, but just give this your full presence. It can transport you. People have all kinds of experiences because the energy fields interface with our consciousness and they lift us beyond our physical senses into our senses that exist energetically in the higher dimensions. And when we work with a seal, he is also contributing to that energy field. And so it becomes very powerful, as we've been saying. So if you're interested in getting a taste, this is the time that we're going to be exploring that.
And beloved ones, we would like to add a few words also. This is Al-Qaza. Even though you will be listening and experiencing a recording of a previous meditation, we are with you now. As you connect through the recording, connect to the energy field. Feel our presence here now with you. Feel the presence of the many, many guides who gathered in Slovenia. And feel now the many more who will be coming to be with you in your Turkey. But we are here now. Allow your heart, your energy field to open and to participate in this gathering online and start to feel and start to prepare the energetic for the gathering in Turkey. We thank you. Beloved ones, we greet thee. 'Tis Al-Qaza. Feel now, as we already bring a soft energy into this space. Can you feel? Relax and feel. The support that is available now is stronger than it has ever been possible for a very long time. We ask you to keep your eyes closed. This will assist us building the energy and supporting you in your own individual, unique process. We work with you individually through your superconscious self or your higher self. You are the one guiding your process. The higher aspects of you are guiding the energies that come to you. We are not imposing, we are offering. And so we are going to ask each one of you now just to ask inside for the energy of Gaia, the energy of the earth, to come up into your body, into your energy field.
And so we are calling for the energy of the earth, the consciousness, Gaia, to come up into our bodies, into our energy fields.
And just feel the earth responding. Star families call her the blue pearl or Terra. Feel. She is a consciousness. She is overjoyed at the transition that's happening for humanity. And now we ask each one of you to ask inside for an etheric stargate, the consciousness of the stargate, to come down around you.
So we are calling for the presence of an etheric stargate.
Just imagine or visualize yourself inside one of these structures. These physical structures are an anchor for a higher dimensional consciousness. By inviting that consciousness, the etheric stargate, to come to you, it will be amplifying this process for you. Very good. And in a moment, we are going to start vibrating your etheric stargate faster and faster. There's nothing for you to do. We will do this for you and with you. And we start this process now. We're gently vibrating all the physical stargates and all the etheric stargates faster and faster. As we do so, we move the vibration up through the energetic levels of the different dimensions. As we are vibrating all the stargates now, they are also connected around your planet. And so as we start to raise the vibration, this vibration moves out around your earth. We are already vibrating at the level of the fifth dimensional energetics. Now we merge into the frequencies of the sixth dimension.
Merging now into the seventh dimensional frequencies, where all the stargates are coming to a gentle pause. And so we ask each one of you now to ask inside for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
So we are calling for a strong seventh dimensional energy in all the stargates around the world. And your stargate begins to radiate to you these seventh dimensional energetics. Nothing to do, just allowing self to relax. These soft energies vibrate you on a cellular level. In fact, they can vibrate your very DNA. You have what we call higher dimensional, non-physical DNA. And this DNA carries the wisdom and knowledge from all your past lives, not only the human ones, but lives that you lived before you came to this earth so long ago. Relaxing into these energies, and slowly, slowly, your own energy gently rises until you are vibrating in harmony with these seventh dimensional energies around you. Effortlessly, not trying to feel the energy. Trying gets in the way, just relaxing and allowing. Very good. And we continue now. We vibrate out of the seventh dimensional energetics up into the frequencies of the eighth dimension.
And vibrating faster still as we move into the ninth dimension and continuing through the frequency ranges of the ninth into the 10th dimension now.
And continuing into the 11th and finally merging into the 12th dimension, where we pause and we ask each one of you to ask inside for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
And so we are calling for a strong energy field of the 12th dimension.
And just feel as again your stargate begins to radiate 12th dimensional energies to you. And slowly, slowly, your own energy field will continue to rise until you find yourself vibrating in harmony once more with the Stargate around you, effortlessly. Very good. Very good. Relaxing and allowing. And you will find that as you vibrate at this level, you become more sensitive, more perceptive of the different guides who are available to work with us. You will feel them when they bring their energies into this meditation, wherever you are. And those with inner vision will be able to see these guides coming into your space. We are going to ask you to work with us to call in the different guides. So when you ask from a heartfelt space, with a strong intention but a deep desire to feel these guides as we call them in. So together now, let us ask inside for the presence and support of the angelic realm.
So we are calling for the presence of the angels.
And just feel, here they come. Just noticing the energy changing around you as the angels bring their loving presence into this space, into your etheric stargate, and just inviting them to come closer. Come closer. And we're being gently vibrated by the loving angelic energies. Just because you asked. The deeper your desire, the stronger your yearning. When you ask, the stronger the response from the guides. And so now we are going to ask you to invite the presence of the one whom we call the Blessed Mother, Mary, Maria, to bring her energies to support this global meditation.
And so each one of us asking inside, we are calling for the presence of the Blessed Mother Mary.
And feel, here she comes, Mary, Maria, bringing her energy. She comes gently, and then her energy gets stronger. The Blessed Mother coming and joining the angels. Feel her presence, inviting her to come closer if you wish. Maria, come closer. Yes, beautiful. Divine feminine energy, divine motherly energy, an energy that we all yearn for on some level. Yes, very good. And now, another master whom you all are aware of, he is the one known as the Buddha. And so we ask each one of you to invite his presence also.
So we are calling for the presence of Gautama, the Buddha.
And feel, here he comes, divine masculine energy, the Buddha. Again, feeling him coming into this meditation, the Buddha, joining the angels and the Blessed Mother. Yes. Very good. With each guide that we invite, you can feel the energy coming. Then after a moment, they merge their energies with those who have come before, creating a stronger and stronger field of oneness. Enlightened energies surrounding us all right now.
And another Ascended Master wishing to join you now. He is from the Buddha's lineage. He is the one known as Maitreya. And so we ask each one of you just to ask inside. We are calling for the presence of Maitreya. And feel.
Again, feel.
Here he comes.
Feel. Relax. And feel. Very good. Very good.
A divine, masculine, super compassionate energy, Maitreya.
And another master who comes regularly to the Stargate meditations. She is the one known as Kuan Yin. She carries the vibration of compassion. And as we have said so many times, compassion is sorely needed here on your earth at this time. And so asking inside from your heart as well as your mind for the presence and support of Kuan Yin.
We are calling for the presence of Kuan Yin.
And feel as her loving energies join this meditation. Kuan Yin, here she comes, feeling this, inviting her to fill you with compassion. Compassion for your own self. Compassion on your journey of awakening. And compassion for others. And compassion in different situations that you might find yourself in. Compassion is love and wisdom combined. Using your love and wisdom to step beyond the old ways. To lovingly allow yourself to evolve with no judgment about how you have been. Just the joy and perhaps excitement about who you are becoming. Kuan Yin. There are many masters. And so instead of naming them all, we are going to invite each one of you now to ask for all the ascended masters, those who have walked the earth and become enlightened and chose to share their wisdom with others.
So asking with a depth of intention, we are calling for the presence of all the enlightened ones who have walked this earth.
And so feel, for they are coming as one, the ascended masters. Here they come, almost like a warm blanket of energy, coming closer. If you have a particular master, you can invite them personally. And so we are being held in a growing energetic of oneness.
And as you may know, this Stargate project is overseen in your universe by the ones known as the Elohim
council of angels. And so we are going to ask each one of you to invite the Elohim to bring their energy here in a stronger way.
We call for a stronger presence of the Elohim.
And feel
Here they come, getting stronger.
the Elohim.
Just because you asked. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good. And so now we like to invite some of the star families from whence each one of us has come. You have lived elsewhere in the universe before you became human. You may not remember yet, but your star family knows you and are patiently waiting for you to reach a vibration and an understanding that allows you to connect with them directly. So right now, we are going to ask you to trust that you may have a star family. And now to ask inside for your star family to bring their support into this global meditation and into you.
So we are calling for the presence of our star families.
And again, just feel, here they come, just feeling the energy that's coming to you. Just feel it, not asking questions, just receive the vibration. The more you can receive the vibration of your star family, the more it will start to align you to them. And then the answers to questions will just start to arise within you. So beloveds, just ask your star family to be with you right now and throughout these days together. Very good. Very good. And so, as we hold this energy together, an energy field that is already encompassing the globe, we are going to invite this one Asil to bring through energies and words to support this process.
Greetings. We are Elohim. This transformational process you are undergoing as a human being, as a human collective, is part of your divine evolution. A great evolution. An expansion beyond your imagination. Beyond this human form, human consciousness expands. And in this evolutionary process, you will not be alone. You will be supported. You will be guided. You will be assisted. Yet it will be your experience. It will be yours to own. It will be yours to consciously choose. as this human experience remains at your will. This time of great awakening, accelerating, invigorating, fueling all of humanity, starting with those that have come with great experience, that have come with great openness, that have come with many experiences that have prepared them for this very moment. And in this moment, all of you, all parts of you, all past, present and future, all dimensions of your being are present. In this very moment, you are, all of you, beyond space and time. In this very moment, you represent yourself and the human consciousness collective. Expanding into this non-dual state of consciousness allows you to transform beyond the limitations you have observed and you have lived, beyond the perceptions established, the conditions developed. You are becoming the greatest potential version of yourself. The multi-dimensional nature of your being is ready to be activated. Yet all constructs within your being, your mental, emotional, physical, your energetic, spiritual construct, will be prepared to receive this work that will be delivered over the coming days. As part of this preparation, your innate trust in yourself, in life itself, in existence itself, your trust into the moment itself will be a significant aid for you. The surrender, the relaxation that is formed by this trust will assist you to move through the barriers of resistance, through tensions, through constructs held over many generations, over many cycles, over many forms. An evolutionary process greater than the natural evolution that has occurred within humanity. A supported, an accelerated evolution, preparing you in your ascension process. Thank you for listening to our words. We will now deliver the first set of energetic adjustments in preparation for the days to come. Receive in silence. Relax into these adjustments that are delivered into this field that's generated. You are being prepared to receive an energy of increased frequency and vibration, of increased potency. All parts of your being must be aligned to receive the greatest possible energy for you, for this field that is created. The network that is established through this stargate can bring a significant energy through. The network and the grid of this earth can receive a significant energy. The field that all of you hold as a global community can receive a significant energy. Yet it is in these moments of true expansion when this energy is received at its full capacity. And over the days to come, you will be prepared to receive even more until the energy levels have come to a place to justify the activation of the Ascension templates, so these can continue to operate within your being and support your evolution and the evolution of humanity in its ascension process. Thank you for receiving this transmission.
Well, that was a nice reminder. I'm buzzing with the energy. Mm. Mm. Mm.
I had to come back really gently from that one. I went really deep. So always when we share these meditations online, we love to hear your feedback in the chats. So let us know how that was for you. Karen Weissmantle is saying, wow. Exclamations. Patricia saying some birds landed on her bedroom window and squealed messages. And Karen saying so much depth and so many layers, hard to describe. Morgine is saying deep, meaningful, beautiful.
Mm.
It feels really tempting to do the whole program again.
Nice. Oh, Christel, for some reason we're not hearing you. So
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear now.
All right. Well, you all can, if you signed up for Accelerated Ascension 3 in person or online, you have access to the replay. So there's that.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
always,
Karen's asking which one that was from. That was the beginning of Accelerated Ascension 3 that we did last year in Slovenia.
yeah. And those of you who haven't, there's time to do all of them, really. Yeah, beautiful. So don't want to take up too much more time. And also everyone's floating in this state of grace here. So is it enough, Jules and Prageet, to share the in-person registration aspects, and maybe even just share that there is an early bird discount for those who are signing up for a certain time? And also, if those of you did sign up but you didn't book your hotel room, we encourage you to do that. It is a two-step process. And so don't forget to do that, because we've reserved a group of rooms for us, and we have exclusive pricing with the hotel that we've negotiated. So we don't want you to miss out on them.
So this is your official invitation to join us in Turkey in a really special region called Izmir. It's on the sea. It's just across the way from the island of Kos, where we did our global Stargate gathering in 2023. If you have a really good arm, you can throw a stone and hit it. And it's a place where the home of Mother Mary is said to be, and also some very ancient, very sacred sites.
Yeah, it's a very special place.
And we have a
And a
really
very,
gorgeous,
very beautiful resort.
yeah, this is the resort that we're going to be going to. So we'll catch some sunsets together in October. And if you've never been in person, or even if you have, there's really nothing like it. So if you're feeling the call, it's a really beautiful way to experience these energies. Here's another daytime photo of the resort. You can see we have some really beautiful nature energy around us.
When we went to Turkey the first time on an expedition, after the expedition, a few of us opted to go down to Izmir and decompress.
You've disappeared again.
Yeah, your mic cut out. So if you're wishing to join us, you can go to stargate.live/AA4. You can get all of the details there, and come and join us. It's going to be October 21st to the 24th, 2025. So for 4
days. It seems like we've lost Christel. It's interesting because the power has gone out in my house while we were doing this. So we're creating a bit of an energy stir anyway.
I'm back. Well, anyway, what I was sharing only to myself into the ethers was that Izmir was the very place that we went to Turkey and did an expedition, a sacred site expedition in 2019. And Izmir was the place that a few of us chose to go and decompress. So that very same coastline is very nourishing for the soul. So yeah, please join us.
Yeah. And for those of you who already know you want to join online, we will be opening the live stream registration in June. And in June, we're also going to do a free live stream with Asil Toksal. And we're going to we'll continue to build this energy field in preparation for being in Turkey.
Right.
So much love to you all.
Yeah, a few people are already saying in the chat that they're going to be there in person. So that's
Awesome.
beautiful.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you again
Okay.
for our panelists for sharing your time and energy and giving us your resources. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Much love to you all.
Take care.
See you, Cosmic Trouble.